Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we're finally gonna get to learn how to do some caulking on a drywall on the replacement window that we learned how to measure before installing many weeks ago, possibly months. As you can see, I have a big gap here, minor gap here, somewhat of a decent gap in here, uneven walls all around. So I am not shaving any of this. I'm gonna use the thick reference of the actual drywall to actually, I guess you could call it, even it all out. I took the liberty of protecting the window from any type of caulking that it might land on, especially on the frame itself. I'm pretty sure you guys don't need a video on that, since we don't know how to rip painter's tape and actually set it. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to protect all around. But I am gonna use some caulking tape. It's just the basic stuff. I'm not going all out. This is just practice. We're not doing a contractor edition remodel here. I'm using a 6-inch carbon steel flexible blade, hammer end, but 6-inch, just covering the brand, just because, you know, no sponsorship here, just whatever the credit card can afford, right? Cheap as it may be. I also got a plastic tub just in case I need to do a quick wipe off. And I am using some dry decks. Once dried up, it'll go from pink to white. So for newbies like us, this is a great tool, or a great material to use on something that we're not fully familiar with. Real quick, we have a big gap. It is said that it is wise to put the tape prior to installing this. I don't know. In my head, it doesn't make sense. I think in my head, it makes more sense to fill in the damn gaps, then put on the tape, then add a little more caulking, then sand it down, and you're good to go. Repeat it all again until you have a nice even area. But what do we know? What do I know? What do we know? Whatever. I'm just gonna give it a whirl. Okay. So first and foremost, I don't know if you can actually see there, but everywhere where there was a screw, we got paper layout. You know, like from the actual drywall. So what I'm gonna do is run the spatula all around, trying to somewhat carve out that little paper, you know. It's like, just get rid of that little fuzzy sticking out from the screws, okay? And now that we semi-clean this, all we're gonna do is just open this gap. Look at it, it's pink already. And what I'm gonna do is try something I haven't done. Let's see if my idea kind of works out. I don't know, this is just the stuff that's right on the see if this works. Kind of work just to fill in that gap, but let's fast forward this a bit more. See how we get. Here you have it. It's pink all around, starting to dry up. Once it dries up, I want to say maybe by tomorrow, we shall see how it turns out. There may be just a tad bit of sanding and a very light pass over with I'm not gonna lie, this is roughly 32 ounces. I probably used 28, if not 25. After this, the best thing to do, from what I recall, while it's still somewhat moist, is to add the drywall tape. So once we do that, we can set it and then forget it. Kind of small joke, okay? Tape's been added, roughly. Now, one thing I did forget to acquire was, I believe it's called corner flashing. So, yeah, I'll be doing that. I'm not too worried about how it ends up at the corners up here. One, that's not gonna be the final finish. I'm thinking of putting like a wood overlay from like scraps that I have that will fit just dandy right there. Again, if this wall has any symmetry whatsoever or straightness whatsoever, I guess the straightness that is found in this wall can be compared to the straightness on gravel. So with that being said, you can just imagine how uneven it is. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm actually expecting the worst from this, but because I'm working on it, I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, man, I don't know. Now we just have to wait and see once all of this dries up. As you can see, it's already changing color in some areas, especially there, right there, a little bit over here. Can't do much for tonight. Now just, it's a big waiting game. More than likely tomorrow I'll have a little more time to do anything. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, let's see how it plans out. Here we have it. After roughly a little over 12 hours, maybe 16 hours of drying up, all of it has pretty much dried up with the exception of this big gap right here that we had. I passed the same spatula I was using to just get rid of a few rough edges. And now we're going to try to put, or at least cover up some of that tape. That way, you know, gets rid of some of those nasties that are still somewhat visible. My hope is that it comes to at least near what it's supposed to roughly look like, which would be similar to the wall itself. So, see how it pans out. Here you have it. Went over it again, pretty much concealing the tape. Best course of action after this, if I remember correctly, is to get those corners all around here. I think we just need about 5 feet, maybe 6, just to play it safe. That should cover us all the way around. Again, this is not going to be how it's going to end up looking. I'm going to paint over it. I am also going to this kind of messy texture of how it looks like. That's literally how this entire laundry room looks like, all around. There's no need to show you, but if it was a straight wall, you know, just drywall and straight everything, not with that Spanish look, we would definitely see a much better texture that I'd be using and all that good stuff. Other than that, we just gotta wait and see once this dries up. Maybe by tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to have that threshold. The only reason why I'm putting the threshold after I've already covered this up is because I want to do a little experiment and put maybe some 1x here. Not 1x, but like 1/4 inch thin or 1/2 inch thick wood on the inside and around. This is gonna be like an idea to possibly motivate my wife to do most of the windows and the doors to be surrounded with wood. So maybe, hopefully she likes it. Other than that, just gotta wait and see until it dries up. Well, I think it's about time we check how the window turned out to be. So first of all, I want to say the patchwork turned out to be okay. It will match the texture of the rest of the wall. And let me just show you guys. So here you have it. It did end up curing nicely. The corners could have been a lot better, but as you can see in that general area, very bad job. So this side kind of matches that. Move down here, you see the texture here, and kind of like how the texture is over here. It doesn't really match, right? So what I'm gonna end up doing is actually putting a thin piece of board on the sides eventually, on all four sides, and probably end up putting like a trim on the edge just to make it look a bit more better. But it did hold. It is nice. Definitely needed to have corner trims, the metal strip that goes on the corners themselves. I think it's called flashing, I'm not sure. But overall, if we were to match the texture of the rest of the walls, it kind of blends in. Not my best work, but for a very tight space and a quick repair to possibly make it look slightly better with that trim I'm gonna put, we'll see. But this was just a quick little one. Needed to be patched up, and we'll go from there, see how it turns out.